Trae. Come on, it's the day with Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peaks that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Grand Rising. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I get to start my week off with a magnificent Monday. Really excited for my guest who's in the building because we got Kiesha B free in the building with Hey Black Seattle. Y'all, she's going to be telling us all about some updates they got going on and ways for you to tap in. So I'm so glad that she's starting the week off with me, but I'm also glad that you are too, because of course this is the top of the show and this is the time where you get to tag and share this show right here with anybody else who you feel needs this daily dose of dopeness we work to give you here on the Day with Trae. And if you can't watch our show, you can always listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You'll find us on your favorite platform. You know, you gotta love modern technology for that. But one thing I want to talk about before I get into it with Miss Kiesha after this break is being there for your kids when they are sick. Okay, now as a mother, this is something that any guardian, parent, grandparent, anybody who is around young kids, you know that something is off when their energy is thrown off because of sickness, right? It is instant. Before they even tell you, man, I got a sore throat, I got a headache, I got this or I got that, you can feel it in their energy. Their entire vibe changes. And we know that when we are getting into the spring season, oftentimes there's something that's ushered in along with it. And that is cold season. You know, we see it during the winter when we're going from autumn to winter. We see that the fall to winter. Could I see it going into spring? You know, my son is just now realizing that he got allergies. And allergies take on all types of different forms, whether it's the sneezing, the watery eyes, puffy eyes. I mean, he's dealing with the itchy throat in the back, right? And it's so funny because for me as a young person, I didn't know that I was dealing with that. I was just like, oh yeah, the flowers are beginning to bloom. I'm always feeling a little bit of itchiness in my throat, a little bit of, sneezing. Never thought nothing of it because it wasn't really severe. Where both of my kids dealt with some more severe type of allergies, and this season is no exception. So I just am giving a shout out to all of those guardians and parents and others who are in the care of young people. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're caring for young folks and you're experiencing that shift in their energy, you're experiencing the rise in cough, sneezing, throat itching, watery eyes, puffy eyes, whatever it is that shows you something is off, I'm just giving you your kudos. Because, oftentimes these are the things that we take on when we say we want to, raise young people, right? We take on these responsibilities. And so I'm just there with him, just trying to cuddle him and be there for him because his whole energy was off this entire week, y'all. And it definitely played into his schedule. And so I had to be there for him to pump him up and let him know everything is cool. But one thing I really appreciate about my kids is they got a real chill demeanor. So I can tell you that he didn't freak out. He was just like, yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. It's time to go to the doctor. After a few days of like, I think we can handle this. The doctor just said the same thing, basically, right? And that happens oftentimes. But I'm giving a huge shout out to all of those who are caring for young ones, especially some of those real young ones, because we know that they don't know the difference between wiping their nose with their arm and then playing on the playground or going to the bathroom to use a tissue and do it in a sanitary way. So those young parents, those ones who got the young kids, those guardians with the young kids, I'm gonna tell you, y'all are warriors. And I remember going through it as well. Now looking back, I recognize how much of a germ fest so many places are where we bring our young kids. Man, we used to love Chuck E. Cheese, but now I think, ooh, how many germs are on these games. So shout out to all of y'all and those who carry sanitary wipes and Purell and cleansing sprays, because we found ways to deal with all of these germs. But in this season, as we're having that shift, I just wanted to give y'all a kudos to start the week. Well, after this short break, up next, we got Kiesha Free in the building, y'all. We're going to be talking about all things Hey Black Seattle and ways for you to tap in. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Listen up, Puget Sound.
This is a call to my fellow Black business owners.
It's your girl, Vasa Gordon.
It's your boy, Eric Calligraphy, and I know times are tough out here.
Especially for our restaurants, dude. I already know you're feeling the weight.
But let me be clear, we're not going to stand by and watch our community struggle.
Here at Back to Vasa and Converge Media, we know Black businesses are the heartbeat of our community.
We bring the culture, the flavor, and the soul, and we need you to keep on thriving.
We need you. So that's why we're opening our platforms to you. Whether it's telling your story, shining a light on your challenges, grabbing resources for you to know about. Dude, we even want to help bring more customers through your doors.
Man, we got you. Are you a restaurant owner trying to keep your lights on? A new business fighting to make your mark? Whatever your story, we want to hear it and help.
In order to make that happen, we need for you to head on over to whereweconverge.com/support Black business and let us know what's happening. Let Back to Vasa and Converge Media amplify your voice and help drive traffic to your business.
Man, don't wait. Converge Media is here to uplift Black business in the Puget Sound. So man, make sure you visit whereweconverge.com/support Black business, and let's rise together.
Have you heard? Everyone living in Washington State can buy health insurance regardless of immigration status. Call 1-855-923-4633 to find out your option through Washington Health Plan Finder. The call is free, safe, and secure, and getting health insurance will not affect your immigration status. Give us a call today.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now is Kiesha Free. What up, Kiesha?
Hey, Trae.
Hey, good to see you
It's
again.
so good to be here again.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but y'all are always doing great things. Tell us about some of the cool stuff Hey Black Seattle got going on now.
Ooh, well, since the last time I was here, a lot did get done. Just so much had happened in year one, but it has been all about introducing Hey Black Seattle to the people. So we just celebrated 1 year of having the website resource live. So that has been a big milestone. And what that has meant is there's been a lot of information gathering, a lot of building, a lot of trying to refine. Because when I first started out, I was just trying to not let perfection be the enemy of progress.
Yeah.
So it's like, get it up. And so now going forward, it's going to be a lot of work on making sure that the actual resource is a good experience for people and that they can find the things that they're looking for and it makes sense to them. So coming up, we have a lot of hunkering down on that database and how people are accessing it.
That's really special because that's really what it's all about. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Hey Black Seattle really is a hub of resources, and you experience like trying to find where are these things at. And then you were like, let me create something. Let me try to fill a void a bit here and make a resource available for folks. So tell us a bit more about how, profiles are created and how folks can kind of tap into the database.
Oh, that's such a great question. So in the beginning, when I first started, I gathered a lot of data and I made profiles for people. Things like, where is this organization or this business or this artist? There's so many different profiles there. I gathered a bunch of information to help people learn, and I put it on the website. But where we're at now, we need people to put themselves on there. So if you go to heyblackseattle.com and you click join as a directory member, you get a prompt to fill out a very short form where you can put your information in and that you can let people know who you are. So you just enter that information in, select a category. Let's say you are a personal chef. We have a category for that on the website. You just put all your information in, and let's say you sat for an interview with Trae on a holiday and you have a video of that. You can put that video right there on your profile so that when people come to learn about you, they're getting not just the words, but an experience of you, and you're helping people in the community get to know you so they can make a decision if they want to work with you.
It's so beautiful, honestly, because the idea has just built on itself. And honestly, I can see the fruits of your labor in that first year. You know, it's interesting because when you watch a platform grow and gain influence and gain relationship, in terms of just networking, being out and being public facing, you did a lot of that. I saw you everywhere. And people are like, you're everywhere. I'm like, oh man,
No,
Keisha's everywhere.
That's
This
the
is
most
great.
common thing I hear people say, I see you everywhere. And I'm like, whew. Sometimes it's a digital version of me that they're interacting with, and it feels like I'm everywhere because it's a multifaceted set of work. Because it's not just the building the web resource, it's also promoting it, making sure that people know what's happening. And so that's why last year I was like, I got to put my face out here so that people can understand the heart and the soul behind this, but also have a human being explain, what is this? Why is this? So that is why I'm like, all right, I got to go outside. I have to talk to people. Is this working for you? Is this easy to use? Learn from people's experiences and just ask folks, what is hard for you to find? What is making life feel a little more isolated for you out here? And this is one of the ways that as I go outside and just be out there all the time, I learn what else people need. So in community, I found out that people really wanted a way to search for things like scholarships and grants. So we turned the job board that's on Hey Black Seattle to an opportunity board where you can not just post jobs, but you can post all sorts of other things like casting calls, grant deadlines, all that kind of stuff you can post. And that came directly from me just being outside in the streets, talking to people about what was hard for them to find.
You know, this is really special because it is, I think, you know, while we have the internet and we have access to information at our fingertips, it also is not the easiest thing to cipher through or siphon through. There's so much information. And sometimes you can say, okay, I'm looking in this area, but if you don't know all the zip codes, if you're like, maybe I'm looking in this county, but maybe it's outside of that county, and you still could access it. What I love is that you're like, everything is congregated here, and particularly the circulation of Black dollars. Let's talk about that a little bit because this is Hey Black Seattle for a reason. Speak on it.
It absolutely is, because there can be a watering down of the needs of individual communities when we try to tackle everything as a mega collective. I like to tell people, I love that people are doing work at the BIPOC level. I love the strength in numbers aspect of that. But the individual nuanced needs of a community inside of that collective can be missed if you're always rounding it up and not really getting into the nooks and crannies of that experience. So I love staying in the nooks and crannies of the Black experience. I hope there's a Kiesha over here doing that for another community. But for our folks, it's like for us to understand what's making it challenging for people to walk through the doors of a Black-owned business. Maybe it's some different stuff than another community's issues are. Some of it's similar, but some of it's different. And then even within Blackness, there's so much there. There's so much variety of experience there in communities within our community. So being able to just focus on what does the Black community need and how can we help each other see each other? So many people want to support each other if they know where to go and if they just make that, it's really easier for them. So I'm all about that.
Well, it's really clear to me, and I think that that's why you probably have heard it often, people gravitating to the platform for that very reason. As we really elevate our consciousness collectively about how we're spending dollars. I mean, we're seeing this from a national, kind of international level, even where you see people are like, yo, I want to support some African-owned businesses, right? Like for me, I think about Ankara and the fabric and not wanting to get it from, third-party sources, trying to go directly to the sources. And one thing about the internet is we can go direct, like they're like, I go direct to consumer, right? And so we can go direct to the business. Like, hey, I'm looking for this and you can find it. But I love this because it also just takes a lot of the guesswork out for people.
Yes.
And we're talking about local dollars, local connections, local networking. Let's talk a bit about that because you've been doing a lot of networking, but a lot of the the entities that have profiles on Hey Black Seattle are also about like, we're just trying to be here to connect people.
Yes.
There's a lot of that, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people on the website who I also consider them hubs. Somebody who's like that I would consider is like an art noir, where art noir features other Black artists in their space. So if you tap into that one, like you've come to this hub, Hey Black Seattle, you learn about another hub. Now you have a whole artistic ecosystem that you learn about because now you know about this one. So I do prioritize highlighting organizations, especially community organizations that serve that kind of function, that amplify local artists, local business owners, other local folks, because those amplifiers are just truly making it easier for people to tap into the part of life that they love. Because it is about dollars, but it's also about the fullness of our lives. We have so much that we could get from like juice, life energy that we can get from being in connection with each other. And so if you are a music head and you get to learn about the local musicians here, and then you get to fill your life with the experience of seeing live music from people that you actually get to know and see, that is a whole different experience than loving someone's music from afar.
You're absolutely right. For me, so much of what's beautiful about the local resource and this hub is the ability to build true relationship, because we're here in this space, right? In the same area. So we have the opportunity to truly get to know one another in a way that goes it goes past where our dollars end up. Because now we're talking about those long lasting relationships that matter so much in terms of building community. So you're really doing us such a service by building community. But you also have other things that you do. I mean, you were taking people on tours. Tell us a bit about some of the other things outside of the website.
Yes, it really is so many elements to this work. The tours, I'll start there since you mentioned the tours. Last year, we kicked off in the spring and the summertime doing tours in the CD. And just taking people around to learn a little bit about the history of the neighborhood, and then seeing the manifestations of Black creativity and Black business ownership of today. So I had 3 different routes that I took people on throughout the year. I did one in partnership with CD Forum and one in partnership with Wanawari Walk the Block. And then the other ones I just did out of Made Space and walked around by Midtown Square area. But that was a way to just be out and help people meet each other, and then educate and move our bodies and be outside and enjoy the Pacific Northwest. So love the tours and those type of experiences. I replicated the tour vibe this past February with a coffee shop tour. I did 8 stops. It was 6 different coffee businesses, 8 stops, where we said, let's pull up. Let's pull up on these coffee shops, and let's just make sure that people know where their local community hub is. Somewhere where you can go and meet other Black people who might work or live near where you are. So that was the true purpose of the coffee shop tour, was to get people in the space where they live and work. That's why there were so many stops. But those type of experiences are part of the work as well. I'm already thinking about, well, what does that look like this spring and summer? What are we gonna do? But there's also a amplification of story element to it. So we also produce stories. So earlier this year, or last year when we were launching, I produced a whole segment called We Are Here in partnership with Big Rock Studios. And we were able to thankfully get support from Converge Media to get that push out into the world. So a lot of people saw we covered 4 or 5 different Black-owned businesses and organizations, and just share the story, but also have an opportunity to talk about some of these narratives that keep us apart. The whole, like, there's no Black people here, or there's no Black community here. So I'm telling these stories, but also peppering in these information about the narrative that I would like to see flipped. So media production, live experiences, also have offerings for folks who are like large employers or schools who bring people out here. They're getting folks to move from other parts of the country and bringing them here. I have an offering called Black Seattle Orientation that those folks can bring Hey Black Seattle in for, where we can begin to stop them before they start letting the misinformation in, and get them educated about, now you're here. Welcome to Seattle. Welcome to your Black life in Seattle. Let me orient you before you become part of the choir that says you don't have an opportunity for a Black life here.
You know, as someone who's here, I recognize that my unique experience is different than those who come here, but there's such a need. because we have good jobs. We have a lot of reasons why people flood here. And we
Yeah.
see it in the numbers all the time. So I'm just truly grateful for you. Of course, if folks are trying to tap in, Kiesha, I got to give you that time because folks are trying to figure out, well, how do I get my profile? How do I get my business listed? How do I get my stuff on there and get to networking? Let them know right there.
Well, if you want to tap in with Hey Black Seattle, it's very easy. Go to heyblackseattle.com and there is a spot that says join. There's a button. You click that join button and add yourself to the resource directory. And if you happen to not have a business or a program that is something you want to promote, you join as a community member still. Being on the site registered is a part of the way that you can help us with growing and building out our ability to communicate with the community. So join, get registered. Get the merch, represent the community, represent us in the streets. It's like wearing the knot on your chest. So those are the two things I'll leave you with today. Join, register on the website, and then grab some merch. Represent.
Yeah. You got several items for the folks, so you're doing it big. You know, Kiesha, I'm so grateful that you're here today. You know, anytime you need to come back giving us updates, we're always here for it. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Wow. I told you I was going to start the week off with some fire. Of course, I'm going to wrap all of this warmth up right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Have you heard? Everyone living in Washington state can buy health insurance regardless of immigration status. Call 1-855-923-4633 to find out your option through Washington Helpline Finder. The call is free, safe, and secure, and getting health insurance will not affect your immigration status. Give us a call today.
Ready to be intentional with your spending? Whether you're gifting it or using it for yourself, the Buy Black card allows you to shop at many different Black-owned businesses across the greater Seattle area, like Love a Latte, Dramer Ice Cream, Motis Beauty Supply, Pizza by Ruffin, The Spa House by Queen Care, and so many more. You can see the full list of participating businesses when you sign up for your Buy Black card at intentionalist.com. And thanks to our friends at BECU, you'll save 20% when you load your card. Spend like it matters with the Buy Black card.
Waitress, the hit Broadway musical Baked from the Heart, is coming to Fifth Avenue Theater. This little slice of heaven musical offers a special recipe for finding happiness in unexpected places. With original music by Grammy Award winner Sarah Bareilles, this musical is a dash of dreams and a pinch of heart baked to perfection. Don't miss this brand new production. Get a taste of this delicious musical March 11th through 30th. Order up at fifthavenue.org and satisfy your sweet tooth with the most delectable show of the season. Make plans now to get a little slice of this perfect musical today.
Truth Talks is the hottest streaming show on TV. Catch all the truths about pop culture to politics and today's biggest
Why
stars.
tiptoe through life?
Monday through Friday, live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific,
we turn
and
that
again at
phone
11
off?
p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific on Fox Soul.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I've told y'all what a great show for the top of the week with Kiesha Free from Hey Black Seattle. It's really great to understand that we have such a vast resource in our community, whether you are someone who's just joining the Pacific Northwest or someone who's been here for years and years. You know, Hey Black Seattle really is a space to tap in to the Black community in a real intentional and depth way. And that's what I appreciate about the resource. As we said here today, it's not just about finding what you need. It's also about building community, networking, pulling up to spaces and pop-ups so you can learn who's out here doing big things and making major moves. Can't nobody tell us we ain't doing stuff in Seattle. Make sure you go to heyblackseattle.com and get your profile today. As a community member, business, or if you have a community-based organization, whatever it is you do, we want to really ensure that this is a good one-stop shop for everybody who's looking to really plug in with all the dope Blackness happening right here in the Pacific Northwest, Greater Seattle metro area. So I'm glad y'all joined me today. Y'all know I got some dope guests for you sprinkled all throughout the week. So I'll be back with you tomorrow. And until then, at 11 a.m., y'all, peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.